Ligeti's poem symphonique requires 100 identical musical instruments. Although the 10 performers leave shortly after the piece begins, the intrigued audience looks on for several more minutes. What are the instruments? I'll read it again. Ligeti's poem symphonique requires 100 identical musical instruments. Although the 10 performers leave shortly after the piece begins, the intrigued audience looks on for several more minutes. What are the instruments?
Was that poem or palm?
Poem.
Poem, okay.
100 instruments and only 10 musicians?
Yeah.
Well, I will say that I was recently in Boston, and I realized while I was there that there is such thing as the Boston Typewriter Orchestra, and it's a bunch of guys that do percussion on typewriters, and their performances are, to my surprise, rather beautiful. So when I hear poem, I think perhaps it's typewriters, but they wouldn't keep playing on their own, so I don't know.
I've got to sit out. I've just realised I've seen this. I haven't seen it in person. I've seen something like it. I've got to sit out of this one.
So it's 100 instruments, but only 10 musicians. So I'm guessing the instruments must be quite small. The world's smallest violin, 100 times.
And the instruments just keep playing, even though the people leave.
Or maybe not.
And people only stay for a few minutes, so maybe the music isn't very good. Maybe they're like smoke alarms or something.
Or dominoes? You like knock over 100 dominoes? And it makes like a
No.
Well, an instrument is an interesting word because it could be a musical instrument, but what about like Texas instruments? Like what if it's protractors or something?
Surgical instruments with pigeons again.
Oh my god.
TI-84s?
Maybe they program them and they make a noise?
I'm feeling a little bit stumped.
So people leave after a few minutes.
The intrigued audience looks on for several more minutes.
Is it karaoke machines?
No.
Are the audience the instruments?
No.
I don't know. I need a clue.
The performance gets gradually quieter.
Gradually quieter?
So it's something like getting knocked over, like dominoes. Like it runs out of... They must set something in motion that is then runs out of steam.
Oh, or what if everyone in the audience sucks in the helium from a balloon and then as it wears off, they'd be quiet?
It's not that, but somebody needs to do that.
Yeah, they must set some kind of like physical process, some kind of like Rube Goldberg machine.
Closer.
I can't get past dominoes.
Is the audience part of the instrument?
No.
Jordan, I'm going to try and confirm a thing here because it's going to be embarrassing if I'm wrong.
Okay.
It could be a proper performance, but this could also be like maybe a demo at a science museum, something like that. This could be done.
I guess you could. Like I could see this happening at the Museum of Science. I think I'd have to think a little bit about what that exhibit would look like in terms of like the scientific utility of it.
Mm-hmm.
But
are they wine glasses?
No.
Oh man, I really thought I had it there.
No notes are heard or played.
It's domino. It's dominoes. It's gotta be dominoes.
It's not dominoes.
It's 100 drums in a line. They kick them over. They kick them down the stairs.
I mean, it's not that far away if this is what I think it is.
It's pigeons. It's pigeons again. It's 100 pigeons. I think we must be somehow close. We've gathered that there's like...
This is something musical, right? It's not like an instrument, but it's something musicians would use.
It is something musicians would use, yes.
Okay. And they've set up 100 of them, started them going, left, and a thing is going to happen.
Metronomes?
Yes. Abby.
Oh.
Metronome. I got it from you moving your finger, Annie.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking of metronomes because they probably line up in interesting ways.
And if you put them all on a slightly wobbly table, they will sync up naturally, right, over time?
I don't think that's technically what happens in this, but...
Okay, that's a science demonstration. Like, that's what I've seen. Like, you put a load of metronomes on a table, and you just allow a little bit of wobble and sway in that table. And over the course of a few minutes, all those 10 or 100 or even 1,000 metronomes will steadily move into sync with each other.
Who discovered that?
I don't know if that's what's happening for this performance, but if I was in the audience and that was starting to happen, that's what I'd sort of stick around and mutter about.
I'm going to call that as close enough. So the answer is metronomes. That's what the instrument is. For more context, the 100 musical devices are metronomes. The piece requires the performers to wind them all up and set them to different beats. On the conductor's command, each performer sets their 10 metronomes going and then leaves the stage. Initially, the whole thing sounds like a racket. Gradually, they keep playing until they have naturally wound themselves down, until only one can be heard on its own for the last few beats.
It's not about the wobble.
Wow.
I was wrong.
No.
It's not about the wobble.
That's why when you said science, I was like,
That
No,
would be a
yeah,
better
maybe.
piece. I prefer that piece.
well, apparently the first performance prompted enough negative reaction that Dutch television canceled a planned broadcast of it. So people did not enjoy the performance for the next several minutes, but they experienced one.
Just let the table wobble. Just let the table wobble.
Well, they titled it the Symphonique. People were expecting
Yeah.
Brahms.
Yeah.
hmm And they got cacophony.